There's a 19-year-old in Nebraska earning $2,800 a month who will be a millionaire by 35. There's a 42-year-old corporate manager in Austin earning $9,200 a month who will retire broke. Same country, same economy, same access to information. But here's what nobody tells you: the difference between them isn't income, it's not talent, it's not luck. It's one daily behavior that takes 4 minutes. And the math behind it is so simple, so brutally clear, that once you see it, staying poor becomes a choice you're actively making every single day. By the end of this video, you'll know the exact 4-minute routine, you'll see the 10-year math, and you'll understand why this behavior is so psychologically uncomfortable that 94% of people will watch this video and still never do it. Let me show you the invisible pattern that separates people who escape poverty from people who live in it forever. Here's the lie you were sold: make more money and your problems disappear. That's what they told you. Get the promotion, get the raise, get the side hustle. More income equals more wealth, right? Wrong. Federal Reserve published data in 2023 that should terrify you. 37% of Americans earning over $100,000 per year live paycheck to paycheck. Let me say that again. People earning six figures can't cover a $1,000 emergency without going into debt. These aren't people making $35,000 struggling with rent. These are household incomes of $8,300 per month, and they're 2 weeks away from the crisis. Meanwhile, there are people earning $40,000 annually with $50,000 in savings. How? What is happening? The answer isn't about what you earn. It's about a psychological pattern called the income spending treadmill, and it's been destroying financial futures for generations. Your brain has a feature called hedonic adaptation. It's the reason lottery winners return to their baseline happiness within 18 months. It's the reason your new car feels ordinary after 90 days, and it's the reason you're stuck. Here's how it works with money. You get a $500 raise. For the first week, you feel rich. By week 2, you've mentally allocated that money: slightly better groceries, a streaming service, an upgraded phone plan. Within 30 days, the raise is invisible. Your lifestyle expanded to meet your income, and you're back to feeling exactly as broke as before. This is why people earning $200,000 don't feel twice as wealthy as people earning $100,000. They just have a lifestyle that costs $200,000 to maintain. But here's the part that changes everything. There's a counterpattern, a daily behavior so powerful that it rewires this hedonic treadmill completely. It's called the 4-minute wealth trigger, a tiny daily switch that decides whether your money compounds or disappears. Every single day, there's a 4-minute window where your financial future is decided. Most people never even know it exists. Let me show you what happens inside this window. Person A earns $4,000 per month. Every single day, the moment they wake up, they do this. They open their banking app and move $20 into a separate account they never touch. Takes 90 seconds. Then they open a brokerage app and invest $10 into an index fund. Takes another 90 seconds. Then they write down one purchase they didn't made yesterday. It takes 60 seconds. Person B earns $4,000 per month. They skip this routine. I'll save when I have more money, they say. I'll invest when I understand it better. They mean well, they work hard, but they never do the 4 minutes. Here's the 10-year math, and this is not hypothetical. This is compound interest calculated at the historical S&P 500 average of 10% annual return. Person A's daily $10 investment becomes $23,200 in 10 years. But wait, we're not done, because doing this daily creates a psychological shift. They start seeing purchases differently. They skip the $6 coffee twice a week. That's $8 more per day invested. Now we're at $18 daily. $18 per day at 10% annual return for 10 years is $41,950. And that's conservative. This doesn't include the $20 daily savings sitting in a high-yield account at 4%, which adds another $30,240. Total after 10 years, $72,190. That's not just a number. That's a car paid in cash. That's 2-3 years of rent covered. That's the difference between panic and breathing room when life hits you. Person B, who skipped the 4 minutes, $0. Actually, worse than zero. They probably accumulated $8,000 in credit card debt because they never built the awareness muscle. Same income, different behavior, a $72,000 difference. Now you're thinking, sure, but I don't have an extra $30 per day. and that's where psychology gets fascinating. You do have it, you just don't see it. The average American spends $314 per month on impulse purchases they regret within a week. That's $10.47 per day on things they wish they hadn't bought, snacks at the gas station, apps they download and forget, the add to cart button clicked at 11 p.m. while scrolling. A 2024 study by Bankrate found that 68% of Americans made an impulse purchase in the last 90 days, with an average transaction of $155. Most people do this twice a month. That's $310 monthly or $10.33 daily, spent on things they didn't plan to buy and don't meaningfully use. The 4-minute routine doesn't require you to earn more. It requires you to see where the money already goes and redirects it before it evaporates. Let me break down the exact routine, step by step, because this only works if you understand why each part matters. Step 1. The morning transfer. The moment you wake up, move $15.25 to a separate account. Not later now. Because the longer you wait, the weaker your discipline gets. This is where most people already fail. Step 2. Microinvestment. Invest $10.20 into a broad index fund. This isn't about stocks, it's about identity, training your brain to act like an investor, and this is where things start to compound. Step 3. Awareness log. Write down one thing you didn't buy yesterday. This rewires your brain to see saved money as a win, not a sacrifice. Total time 4 minutes, that's it. This one step changes how you see money forever. Here's what happens in the first 30 days if you actually do this, and I mean actually every single day. Days 1 to 7, you'll hate it, you'll forget twice, you'll feel like it's pointless. Your balance will say $180 saved, $140 invested, it feels invisible. Days 8 to 14, something shifts. You'll catch yourself before an impulse buy and think, I already moved money this morning. One time, this saves you $40, you just paid yourself for 3 days of the routine in one avoided purchase. Days 15 to 21, you'll check your investment account obsessively. You'll see it's up $4 or down $3. Doesn't matter. What matters is you're now emotionally connected to growth, not just spending. Days 22 to 30, you'll feel different, not rich, but not helpless. You'll have $600 to $900 in savings and $300 to $600 invested. For the first time in maybe years, you'll have a buffer. And that buffer changes everything. If this is making sense, if you can feel the shift happening in your mind right now, subscribe to this channel. That single click costs you nothing and keeps you locked into the exact strategies that separate people who build wealth from people who just wish for it. Now let's talk about what happens after the first year, because this is where math becomes magic. After 12 months of the 4-minute routine, you'll have approximately $7,800 in savings and $5,200 invested conservatively. But here's what nobody tells you: you won't be the same person anymore. Research from Duke University found that daily repeated behaviors rewire neural pathways in 66 days on average. By month 3, this routine isn't discipline anymore, it's automatic, it's who you are. And people who see themselves as investors and savers make completely different financial decisions than people who see themselves as consumers. You'll stop financing furniture, you'll negotiate your car insurance instead of auto-renewing, you'll meal prep on Sundays because you've done the math on takeout. These aren't sacrifices, these are automatic behaviors that come from your new identity. Over 10 years, this identity shift is worth more than the $72,000 I calculated earlier. It's worth hundreds of thousands because you'll dodge debt, avoid fees, and make smarter decisions in every domain. Picture this for a second. You're 55. Still working, still tired. And you suddenly realize you had the chance to start at 25. Same income, same opportunities. The only difference: you waited. Here's the uncomfortable truth: most people watching this video will not do the 4-minute routine, not because they can't, because it feels pointless at first. $20 saved doesn't feel like progress when you're $30,000 in debt. $10 invested doesn't feel meaningful when your rent is $1,800, so people wait. I'll start when I get the raise. I'll start when I pay off the car. And they never start. There's a psychological principle called present bias. Your brain values immediate gratification 2.5 times more than future rewards. $30 spent today on something that feels good right now beats $72,000 in 10 years because your brain can't emotionally connect to future you. The only way to beat present bias is to make the routine so simple, so fast, and so early in the day that present you doesn't have time to negotiate with future you. 4 minutes before your brain wakes up enough to argue. Let me tell you about Sarah, not her real name but a real person I consulted with in 2022. She earned $51,000 annually as a teacher, single, $18,000 in student loans, $4,200 in credit card debt, living in Denver where rent was eating her alive. She started the 4-minute routine in January 2023 with $17 daily. It felt ridiculous, it felt pointless, but she did it. By December 2023, she had $4,900 saved and $2,800 invested. But more important, she'd stopped using her credit card for emergencies because she had savings. She paid off $3,200 of the credit card debt with money she would have spent on nothing memorable. As of April 2025, she's at $18,400 saved, $11,200 invested, and zero credit card debt. She's 28 years old. If she never increases the amount and just continues this until 60, she'll retire with $1.67 million. Same salary, same city, just 4 minutes a day. Here's what I want you to do right now, not tomorrow, not Monday, right now. Open your banking app, set up a separate savings account if you don't have one. Schedule a $20 transfer for tomorrow morning at 7 a.m., then open a brokerage app and set up a $10 automatic investment. Do it before you finish this video, I'll wait. If you're actually serious, prove it. Comment day 1 done, because most people watching this won't even start. Let's build a thread of people who actually started today. Let me show you the lifetime difference we're really talking about. Person who starts the 4-minute routine at 25 and does it until 65. Total invested, $146,000. Value at 65 at 10% return, $3.2 million. Person who waits until 35 to start the same routine. Total invested, $146,000. Value at 65, $1.4 million. Same money, 10-year delay, $1.8 million difference. That's not extra money. That's decades of your life. That's the difference between working at 65 or choosing not to. That's not a typo. Waiting 1 decade costs you nearly $2 million because of how compound growth works. And here's the most brutal part, the person who never starts, they'll spend that same $146,000 over those 40 years. It'll just evaporate into impulse purchases, subscription services they forgot about, and stuff they don't remember buying. Same money spent, one version becomes $3.2 million, the other version becomes zero. If you do this daily, it becomes extremely hard to stay broke, not because $20 a day is a fortune, but because the behavior creates a compounding identity shift that changes every financial decision you make for the rest of your life. If you made it this far, you're not like most people, most clicked away in the first 90 seconds. You're still here because part of you knows this is real. So here's the truth: information without action is just entertainment. You can watch 100 videos about wealth and stay broke, or you can do 4 minutes a day and become mathematically certain to build it. Subscribe if you want the next video on exactly how to increase this routine from $30 daily to $100 daily without earning more money. That's where the real acceleration happens. And drop a comment telling me your biggest obstacle to starting. Is it the amount, apps, the discipline? Let me know. I read every single one. Remember that 19-year-old in Nebraska I mentioned? She's not special, she's not gifted, she just saw this pattern earlier than most people do. And that 42-year-old manager earning $9,200 a month, he's not stupid, he's not reckless, he just never learned that wealth isn't built in what you earn, it's built in the 4 minutes after you wake up. You now know what 94% of people will never figure out. The only question left is, which person will you be 10 years from now? The math doesn't lie, the routine works, the only variable is you. I'll see you in the next video.